Hi guys, it is Trisha Dirks of Dirks Realty Group back at you again with a great new video topic. Today we're going to talk about all things worst neighborhoods to live in Portland, Oregon. So these are not in any particular order. They're just going to be the 5 worst neighborhoods to purchase a home in or to live in, and that could be whether you're buying a home or renting a home. And it's really strongly due to crime, maybe homelessness. You have to take in consideration housing prices, as well as unemployment, cost of living. So we're going to touch on all of those things. I'll tell you what the rankings are. So let's get started. Let's talk about the Portsmouth neighborhood. That neighborhood is ranked 62 out of all of the neighborhoods in the Portland metro area. A lot of it has to do with crime, schooling, cost of living. So you could probably find a great house at a great price in this neighborhood, but is it a house that you are really interested in based off of what the neighborhood dynamics are? The schooling in that neighborhood, I mean, that would be big for me because I do still have a school-age kid, is rated a F. Your livability is an F. Your housing is an F, which means you're just not going to get a good return on investment. So yes, you could probably find a nice house, nice big house in this neighborhood, probably in the sub 3s, but your return on investment just won't be there until that neighborhood starts to come back or start to come up, and we start seeing more families move into that neighborhood, more commerce move into that neighborhood. Then we'll start to see a real push in that neighborhood, and we'll start to come up. Number 2, let's talk about the Cully neighborhood. The Cully neighborhood has changed so much over the last, I don't know, I want to say 10 years, 5-10 years, to where we're starting to see more of a push where people are moving into that neighborhood. But it is conveniently located just on the outskirts of Northeast Portland and more of a dodgier neighborhood in Northeast Portland. It's between Sandy Boulevard and Fremont, which are 2 major thoroughways to get from the city to the city center. So it's very convenient to live at, but we are just starting to see growth in this area, so that's why it's still on the list. They still have a high crime rate. I think that they are scored at a F, as well as cost of living is an F, and schools are at an F. As we see it continue to grow, I'm confident that these numbers are going to start to change because, like I said, a lot of more Oregonians, as well as people that are moving from other cities, are starting to move in that area. So it is starting to thrive, but we still have a little ways to go when it comes to the Cully neighborhood. So North Portland, so St. John's area in North Portland is also a very quirky neighborhood. For me personally, I look at it as I would say it still is giving me small town vibes. I'm not a big North Portland fan, but there are a lot of people that love to live in the area because it is a small town where you have nice restaurants, not nice, small restaurants, local storefronts. You could go thrift shopping and things of that sort, but it is still ranked fairly low. It's just taken a little bit longer for us to see some of the gentrification that is happening around the city to actually branch out into the north sector of town. So you are still seeing the school systems ranked for an F. We are still seeing, sorry if you see me look away, I'm just looking at my notes. We are still seeing the amenities in that area a D. There's a lot of mom and pop type shops there, but not some of the larger stores that you would typically see in a metro area. You don't see that there. Like I said, it still has that small mom and pop kind of feel as you drive through there, but it's quirky. People love it. It's almost the definition of Portland. So if you're looking for that feel, North Portland may be for you. As far as crime though, crime is up in that area. We are still seeing it at a score as an F. In housing, also Just as I said, in Cully, it's an up and coming area as it continues to grow, which I think in that area we still have a good 10, 15, 20 years before we're going to actually see it get to some of the more popular area growth. But you are going to get a little bit more of a return on investment than maybe the Portsmouth neighborhood that I had mentioned first. All right, let's go to the Mill Park neighborhood. The Mill Park neighborhood is also on the list, and that is strongly due to the fact that it is centrally located between two highways. So 205 and 84 is where it's located. So you're going to see more of the homeless pushed where they're sitting around the corridors. There's a lot of public transportation to where you're seeing homelessness there too. So naturally, we're going to see a lot more crime in these areas. So that would be one of the areas that I would also say that housing in your investment is going to be a little bit lower. This is in the southeast corridor of Portland. So houses are going to be probably larger lots, a little bit smaller house, but at a very great price in these neighborhoods. That's something to consider when you're considering Mill Park. The other one I would say that is seeing a lot of growth is Palhurst. That's another neighborhood that is centrally located between two major thoroughways, which brings a lot of homelessness. So you're going to see a lot of that in the Palhurst neighborhood. You'll see the median price anywhere from $350 to $500 depending on the size and type of house, but you're going to deal with a lot of the homelessness that you have heard of in the Portland market area. So those are some of the things to take into consideration as far as your crime is going to still be an F, your schools are still going to be an F. So these are things that you want to really take a dive deep into when you are considering moving to the Portland area. As usual, if you have any questions or concerns about Portland, feel free to give me a quick call or text.